Logan Paul's YouTube Red show got revived. Why are people so mad over the gray avatar guy? And is BetterHelp a scam? This and much more. I'm Gloria Borga, and you're watching Borgos. Long-shelved Logan Paul movie sequel launches today on YouTube Premium. Hooray! Yatta desu ne? I've been looking forward to the thinning too. I wonder what's gonna happen. Is it gonna get thinner? So a lot of people, at least in my Twitter feed or anyone mentioning Pewdiepie, kind of pointed out the hypocrisy in this. If you guys remember, Logan Paul's movie got cancelled or put on hold as a reaction from YouTube after he showed the dead body in the forest of Japan. So people are saying, well, you brought back his show, then you need to bring back Scared Pewdiepie. Pewdiepie did a dumb, edgy joke and got his show cancelled. Logan filmed the real dead body and got his YouTube show a sequel. If we're gonna release Logan Paul's YouTube Red show, then where the heck is Scared Pewdiepie Season 2?
And following this news, as far as my personal takeaway, I feel like a ton of people are expecting me to just rip into YouTube and Logan Paul, but I really don't know how to feel anymore. I mean, personally, I'm more interested in what someone like Pewdiepie feels about this, given his history with controversy and losing his YouTube Red series. Which, on that note, as of recording this video, I haven't seen Felix comment publicly about this, but I've seen a lot of people online saying, okay, well, if YouTube is gonna do this, where's Season 2 of Scare Pewdiepie?
Sorry, what do I think? Well, I'm just Gloria Borga. Pewdiepie is not gonna make a response. Okay, but me, Gloria Borga. Wait, who am I? Poppy Harlow. Gloria quit. I forgot. Is gonna give my response. If you guys remember, YouTube put Logan Paul's show on hold 10 days after the controversy. It took YouTube 10 days to come up with this assessment that, well, we're probably gonna have to cancel his show because otherwise we look like a bunch of fools because we canceled PewDiePie's show like that. I mean, I was asleep when they canceled my show. It canceled just as the news broke. There was no question about it. It just it took no hesitation on that one. But with Logan Paul's show, it was like 10 days after, and it's on hold. So it was uncertain whether it would come out or not. It was due to be released this year. So I think it's only natural that you have a lot of people saying, just found out that YouTube is moving forward with the second season of Logan Paul's YouTube Premium series 10 months after the Suicide Forest video. So we can assume PewDiePie will be getting season 2 of his series release as well, question mark. I haven't seen any indication of that happening whatsoever. I've asked about it. I don't know, maybe this opens up for new discussions, but it's kind of amazing how a billion-dollar company can be so inept at leadership. If you want to be taken seriously, you need to apply the same rules for everyone. You can't just nitpick whatever you want, then you just look like an idiot, and people will undoubtedly be upset, and I think that's what's happening here. So, with or without controversy, The Thinning was coming out this year. No matter what. It was due to be released this year, and it got released this year. So whatever the controversy was involved had no effect. I mean, what did it change? Did it get delayed a month or 2 months? There's no effect there whatsoever. Scare Pewdiepie was finished. We finished shooting it. It's ready. It needs to be edited, but that's it. YouTube made a response to the fact that they released the show, The Thinning, Logan Paul's show, saying that the entire cast and crew worked extremely hard to complete this film last year. I think this is a good point because Scare Pewdiepie, we didn't work hard. Let's get real. But anyway, in fairness to all of them and the fans who have been asking for the sequel, we decided to release The Thinning, The New World Order. In fairness! In fairness! Thank you, YouTube, for your fairness. So, apparently, yeah, Scare Pewdiepie, we didn't work hard, and our fans have not been asking for it whatsoever, so I believe this fairness. But then again, they're not wrong. It isn't fair. I mean, this is why when Logan Paul's controversy broke, despite me, clearly I don't like him, I said I don't think his show should be canceled. And I meant that because, you know, punish Logan for what he did and punish me for my mistakes. But to punish everyone involved on this project, I mean, these projects are so massive, it just doesn't make sense. It just isn't fair to everyone else involved. I do understand that there is a difference between Logan's project called The Thinning It's not Logan Paul the thinning, you know. It's my show, it's PewDiePie, so maybe that's why they reacted to it differently. Maybe that's why they're doing this different treatment. Maybe it's because I joked about Jews, and that's a more sensitive topic than showing a dead body of someone making suicide. I think that's probably what some people think, at least. I think maybe YouTube reacted a bit hastily. Is that a word?
Hastily.
A bit too quickly when deciding to cancel Scare PewDiePie. It was their most successful YouTube show as far as I know. I personally believe in the YouTube Red program. It's been criticized so much, but it's a great idea. I really do think it has a lot of potential. I don't think they realize that if they did this to me, they're gonna have to do it to everyone else, because they clearly don't want to do that. Obviously, they didn't. Logan clearly got a different treatment here. I think that's pretty safe to say. To be honest, good for him. I'm happy for him. I stand by what I said. I don't think his show should have been canceled, and I'm glad it got released. It is disappointing from my perspective seeing that I got different treatment. It's kind of annoying. I think YouTube is sitting in the same boat, you know? I'm happy that Logan's got released, but I'm unhappy that my didn't. And I'm sure YouTube feel the same way in a sense. I don't know. Moving on! What do you guys think, actually? Let me know. BetterHelp! Meme review, BetterHelp. If you guys checked out my video on BetterHelp, thank you guys for all the amazing support on that video. Honestly, I got some of the nicest comments I've ever gotten on a video. It was the most stressful video I've ever uploaded. You know, I thought it was like not a big deal. You know, I can do this, but it was stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it would be. But regardless, basically, to run it down quickly, BetterHelp is an online therapy service. It had a lot of questionable things with it. I pointed those out, and the fact that YouTubers were paid per person signing up to this service, to me, was deeply concerning. Per person that they get to sign up for BetterHelp. $200. That's a lot of money. Just get 1,000 people signing up. You just made $200,000. Ever since that video, BetterHelp has removed all their video testimonies from their website, which I thought was interesting. I don't think it really matters. There was this whole thing about Julian Says, which was clearly just a guy hired to say the testimony.
You needn't stay alone.
Jesus, you needn't stay alone.
Julian says that BetterHelp.com is a reliable online platform to receive therapy, to communicate with a licensed psychologist from home than at an office. The center button also has an answer in.
So people found Julian Says or Rob Spence Fiverr page where he does testimonials. Big props to Rob because he had a great approach to it. I saw his response.
Actually, you know, I haven't really done anything wrong here. Yeah, it's embarrassing, and I agree, I do have a really creepy smile at the end.
So BetterHelp made a response to all these allegations, and they made it the same day I recorded my video. That's why I never got a chance to talk about it. So it seems only fair that I talk about it now, especially due to the fact that they've been tweeting this frantically to anyone commenting about BetterHelp on Twitter. Hey, you may be misinformed. Hey, you may be misinformed. Read this. So let's read it. Let's go through it. It was written by the CEO of BetterHelp on Medium, and I think he went to Reddit as well. Hi, I'm BetterHelp's founder. Here are my thoughts. They basically go on to say how great BetterHelp is, how very few companies can truly say that their value is to enable a better life, and just that they're doing a great job, basically. Strangely enough, or funny enough, I guess, they bring up the drama between Keemstar and Phil. Virtual fight with another YouTuber host who has several million followers. Sort of pivoting it as this was all a reaction to drama, people just wanting drama, and that's what caused for it. I didn't mention anything about Phil in my video because I didn't want it to be about drama. I wanted to just be clear what my criticism of BetterHelp was. They also go on to say that they have a long process of verifying their therapist, and they can assure that their therapists are legit. But their terms of service clearly stated completely differently. They basically said it was up to you to determine whether you were talking to an actual therapist or not. This one says that they don't guarantee the verification of the skills, degrees, qualifications, certification, credentials, competence, or background of any counselor. With BetterHelp, you'll be talking to professionals. Just beware that it's your responsibility to determine whether they are or not. You could be talking to some guy in Ukraine sending you sad smiley emojis. They also bring up all these conspiracy theory allegations, which I understand. There were a lot of weird conspiracies going on while trying to uncover BetterHelp. I didn't bring up any of it. I mean, the biggest one was probably the Julian Says one, which I brought up because it was funny. Then they finish off with the ultimate level of smugness, saying that ironically, over this interesting week, we've had a record number of new members who signed up. Congratulations, BetterHelp. So they basically don't care. So what they didn't address was that why do they market that they cost $65 per week, but they still charge you monthly? This is what it says when they ask you to enter your credit card information. Free trial. Try the service, 7 days, no risk. Look, $0. If you're one of the companies that can truly say that their value is to enable a better life, then why do you need to use these sort of learning business methods to get people to sign up for your subscription? Why can't you just say the amount that you will charge you? Why can't you just be honest and clear about that? Why this level of deception involved? Second, why do you market still here as a replacement for in-office counseling, while in your terms of service, you still say that you are not a complete substitute for face-to-face examination? Look how much money you save by not using a therapist. I've been getting a ton of messages from actual therapists or people that have gone through therapy who said that this sort of idea of online therapy is ridiculous. You need to properly sit down face to face with a person to get the job done, to get to the core of the issue. Obviously, I'm not an expert. Why are people saying that they got diagnosed from BetterHelp? They also replied to the bad reviews on the website saying that they can't vouch for their authenticity. Funny enough, that's what I said in my video. I can't vouch that the bad reviews aren't authentic, but then you can either vouch for the positive ones. It's such a non-argument. So I think what a lot of people wanted to know, is BetterHelp a scam? And I watched this video from YouTuber Law, which was really interesting.
So with all these different issues, and believe me, there are more and more provisions that I just don't want to go through that are just funny and make no sense and are indicative of the fact that somebody did a cut and paste off of other people's websites. Why do I say it's not a scam? It's because I've dealt with so many of these kind of platforms, and I tell you, they make no money here. These platforms makes pennies on the dollars, and as a result, if you want to scam people, this is like the worst business model through which to scam people. There are far, far better ways to do it online.
Basically explaining that their terms of service is extremely poorly written. They most likely just copied and pasted a lot of pieces from it, and they probably just wanted to save money. So while they legally might not be a scam, they certainly have a lot of questionable things about them. To be honest, I think it's entirely possible that they have good intentions. But the difference between what they're saying in their terms of service and how they market it, to me, shows that they're very irresponsible, at least, and that it shows me as well where their focus is. They clearly spend a lot more time on how to market and sell their product. I'm not personally against a company like BetterHelp existing. Even if I am skeptic whether online therapy works or not, or if it's the best way, I understand that that's a service that a lot of people can actually benefit from. But clearly, it's not positive for everyone. And combine that with the fact that YouTubers are promoting this, getting $200 per sign up with the topic of mental health, to me, that's very, very concerning. Maybe that's a personal thing because I hate referrals. I understand that they are a common practice in business and even therapy. But to compare that with YouTubers telling their fans to sign up, I think it's completely different because they have licenses and policies. $200 per fan with mental health issues or struggling with mental health, I don't like it. But like I said in the video, at the same time, I don't think these YouTubers knew what they were promoting. I don't think they looked into it too deeply. I even had YouTubers that I showed in my video thanking me for showing the issues with BetterHelp, and it was nice to see that reaction. Now, I also want to mention that I felt like it was important that I showed how YouTubers promoted this service. It was a big part of the whole thing for me.
And he goes through the terms of service and he points out a lot of questionable things, which is fine. And he doesn't like the service and he raises good points about it. But the way that he presented my involvement in it, I thought was a little misleading and a little out of context. And it made it look like I was way more involved with this company than I was. It was gotten so bad that it was basically either stop making videos or disappear.
Also, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. More information about that at the end of this video.
So basically, I agree. I cut this very poorly. I thought it was clear that this was Bobby's video and not Ethan's video. But even then, I wanted to be clear. My point was not to drag these YouTubers. I'm sure Bobby had good intentions while pushing this service. Because if you think you are promoting a service that is helping other fans and you get paid at the same time, I mean, that seems pretty win-win to me, but that's clearly not necessarily the case. But I felt like it was necessary to show these YouTubers how it was promoted in the video. But that clearly led to a lot of drama and controversies. And I think this is a good lesson for everyone. Look more carefully into what you're promoting to your fans, especially if you are paid per person using that product. That being said, check out my new merch, everybody. That's right, meme review. YouTube's favorite merch. Actually, it's PewDiePie's merch. I'm just Gloria Borga. I mean, Poppy Harlow, showing this merch. It's only available for 4 more days. I mean, 3 more days. Next news! BBC trending. Why has Twitter banned 1,500 accounts and what are NPCs? You've probably seen this meme. It's been practically everywhere. I've been debating, do I show this on Pew News or meme review? Where does this belong? I love how Pew News and meme review has just never been closer together. Me and PewDiePie have been discussing this, but I feel very passionate about this story. This started from a post online saying that I have a theory that there are only a fixed quantity of souls on planet Earth that cycles continuously through reincarnation. However, since the human growth rate is so severe, the soulless extra walking flesh piles around us as NPCs, or ultimate normal people who autonomously follow group things and social trends in order to appear convincingly human. I call these people NPCs because when you talk to them, they just say the same every time. Trump is bad. Just be yourself. Sports ball. The new Adele song. Oh my god. If you get a discussion with them, it's always the same buzzwords. I love this meme because from a spiritual or philosophical standpoint, it makes 100% sense, okay? You have all these feel-good quotes saying like, there's just as many stars in the galaxy as there are people that have lived on Earth, in our galaxy. Well, what about the new ones then, huh? We got more and more people living. NPC theory proven. Thank you very much. We are Pew News here. We report on the facts, the truth, and nothing but the truth. Hello, I am a comedian on television. If you disagree with my politics, you must be mentally ill. Diversity is our strength. So a lot of people had a problem with this meme, which just makes it even funnier. The fact that people actually give a damn about this stupid meme. It blows my mind. I think that's the main reason why it's funny. If no one cared about this meme, it wouldn't be funny. But people are saying that it's dehumanizing. Chad NPC only watches Game of Thrones, has seen every Marvel movie, and can't wait for the next Star Wars. Wake up, sheeple! I've been telling this for years. Marvel movies are trash. You like Marvel? You're an NPC! Unfortunately, this golden meme, this meme dipped in gold, has gotten tainted by politics. Which of Donald Trump core values do you support? You have left and right basically saying you're an NPC or you're an NPC. Insult.exe, so Trump, ha ha ha. The New York Times reporting on this. What is the NPC? The pro-Trump internet's favorite insult. Jesus Christ. Are these Russian bots? Probably not. Probably. 2018, everybody. The memes they're in a strange place, I gotta say. The New York Times even asking themselves, aren't you giving these trolls attention they're seeking by writing about them in the New York Times? Yes! You are 100% giving these people more power by talking about it. but they can't help themselves. They just can't help themselves. It's so satisfying to symbolize something as an evil thing. To most people, it's just a meme. No one thinks about it as any further. So rest in peace, NPC meme. This one you can't blame on meme review. Okay, I had nothing to, I mean, I never have anything. Last but not least, Shane Dawson finished his series on Jake Paul. I'm only bringing this up because I criticized that one episode. Otherwise, I thought it was a great series. I really enjoyed it. I have a lot of respect for Shane. They're really pushing the boundary on videos in general. I think it's really impressive and inspiring what they're doing. So that's why for this week's shout out week, I'm shouting out Shane. He clearly needs a shout out from me, guys. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Shane Dawson. You probably never heard of him. Small YouTuber. Needs a shout out. No, but for real, I meant what I said, and especially with me criticizing one of the episodes. Just because I criticize something doesn't mean I hate that person or have some personal vendetta with it or whatever. To me, it's very different. And I think the same thing goes with the better health stuff. You know, I may criticize YouTubers and stuff in general, but I don't personally hate someone or whatever. I especially enjoyed the last episode, by the way. Hearing Jake speak so eloquently, it was wonderful to hear Jake.
I'll just like even with Erica,
leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I appreciate all the support. Consider becoming a sponsor if you want to, and buy the merch. That's probably the best way to support the channel. It's really, I gotta go. Goodbye. Just bye.